We will build this world with love. Yada-da-da, yada-da-da. Oh, we will build this world with love. Yada-da-da, yada-da-da. Oh, we will build this world with love. Yada-da-da, yada-da-da. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. We're here today because we want to make visible our grief, our outrage. We want to engage in something called tshuva, which is the Hebrew word for repentance. And we want to call on those of us in power, the Canadian government, our own Jewish institutions, to join us in this repentance, in this tshuva. We also want to welcome and acknowledge the incredible number of allies who are here with us today. We see you. We thank you. This feels like very true, real solidarity. Thank you so much. Any hateful messaging around, please notify a person in a green vest, one of the marshals, and they'll be able to help. And to begin this event, I'm going to welcome Yasmin up, and she's going to lead us in a land acknowledgement.
As many of us here are settlers on this land, as grateful guests, we give thanks for the opportunity to stand together as the weather shifts. We acknowledge the multiple and overlapping histories we carry with us and engage with on this land now called Canada. We also acknowledge our accountability to the original stewards of this land and our duty to speak out against injustice here and abroad.
It has been a horrifying 2 weeks. We are many miles away from Israel and Palestine, but I am still heartbroken over the Palestinian families who have been torn apart, the Palestinian children who have been killed, all in our name. Today, many are celebrating a ceasefire. While we welcome a pause to the violence of the last 2 weeks, we cannot celebrate horror that shouldn't have happened in the first place. Nor do we believe that it means we should step away from Palestinian solidarity. As long as there's an occupation, there is nothing to celebrate. As long as there's an occupation, there is violence. Gazans and other Palestinians are living in a constant state of terror, unsure of what will happen next. The Israeli military is acting brutally and senselessly, following decades of violence towards Palestinians, without care for the basic humanity of children, families, and people in Gaza and the West Bank.
We're going to bring in Shabbat together by lighting Shabbat candles. Shabbat is a time to imagine another world, to be grounded in hope. So as we light the Shabbat candles, let's find hope in the resistance that has been happening this week. The tens of thousands who have gathered in solidarity with Palestinians across the world, and the hundreds of thousands of Palestinians who went on general strike this past week, unified. Yeah. Unified across Gaza, the West Bank, and Israel. Let's imagine together, from this place of hope and resistance, what another world could be. A world where Palestinian dignity, freedom, and equality is not in conflict with vibrant Jewish identity and safety for Jews. A world where Palestinians and Israelis have the space to share their visions together for what it looks like to have full rights and equality. What could such a world look like? I invite you to close your eyes and imagine what it might look like, what it might feel like, what it might smell like as we light the Shabbat candles together. It's a windy moment. Winds of change, winds of change. That's what's blowing this. We'll move on to the kiddush, which is the blessing over wine. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pri hagafen. Amen.